Hey, we always get these questions about what kind of work are we doing at Tammy Dowley-Blackman Group. And so about a year ago, we started actually writing about these case studies, presenting these case studies called the green case studies. We chose the color green because it's associated with the environment and renewal and growth. And we think about that as every project that we're doing with our customers, with our clients, with our partners, that it's always about growth and renewal. So, what are some of those projects that TDB Group Strategic Advising, which, as you know, is a company under the umbrella of Tammy Daly Blackman Group? What are some of those projects that we're doing? I love when I get the questions. Thank you for asking the questions. It always presents a great opportunity to connect with people, but also I learn so much from all of you when you ask the questions. So, when you ask me to shine light on or explain or share what we're doing, I thought it would be helpful to also put this in video form and to be able to give you a sense of some of these projects. So, as you know, we work across corporate, government, nonprofit, and the philanthropic sectors at Tammy Daly Blackman Group. These projects are very different depending upon the customer and their needs, and even where they're located geographically may feed into the need they have, and certainly in terms of their audience. We work with museums, we work with musical organizations, we work with children's organizations and foundations, we work with healthcare institutions and technology companies and engineering companies. It is so varied, and that's part of what we love. Our team loves the fact that we get to dig into so many different things, and we're always looking to be of service. Some of them are also referenced on the website, and you can find them easily under the blog section and case studies, and you'll be able to find that at www.tammydb.com. And you can easily go and see some of them there as well. But what I love about this in terms of doing them for video is that we get to interact a little bit differently around them. And again, it's very specific to some of the questions that you've asked. So, one of those that I would speak to is Cambridge Innovation Center, which has its headquarters in Cambridge, Massachusetts, but also works across 9 different countries, which is in itself fascinating. It is, think about it as a sort of a workplace, a workspace, and was one of the first to pioneer the idea of co-op workspace, but very specifically for technology companies, and certainly have branched on to others. But that's where they really started. And the CEO and founder, Tim Rowe, has built an incredible company with hundreds of team members. And we were really fortunate to be asked to join that team not once, but twice in the last 5 years to help them think about their diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and belonging work. And of course, our work is so much deeper than just that. We are really thinking about systemic change. We're thinking about infrastructure. And the work we did with Cambridge Innovation Center, also known as CIC, was, yes, very specific to DEIB, but it really went to their strategic plan. It really went to employee engagement. It really went to creating a sense of belonging. And what we end up doing there has actually helped them across all of their sites across the U.S. Diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, belonging is very different in Poland, for example, than it would be in Japan, very different than what it might be in their office in Cambridge, or their office in Miami, or their office in St. Louis. And so we had to very carefully think about what employee engagement looked like and what it was going to mean in those various offices, those various teams, but also people that are going to have very different experiences. Some people are going to be brand new to CIC, some were going to be have been on the team for 5 or 10 years. And so there we were really also thinking about what were going to be the key performance indicators that they could use across the company, and it wouldn't be very specific to just one site or one element of the work they do. What I loved about this project is that there was a lot of opportunity to interface with the team. This wasn't our team off just thinking about this in a vacuum and bringing back a set of recommendations, but rather we were doing this work with CIC. And I loved it also because they were very committed and had senior leaders as well as junior leaders as a part of this work, and everyone in between. We were working with their learning team, we were working with human resources, their people in culture. We were working with their programs team. It was amazing to be able to, again, to see the breadth and depth of not only the experience that team members bring to CIC, but certainly the breadth and depth of experience they've gained while being at CIC. So this project was over 4 years, and again went to really about employee engagement and really about trying to understand what was happening at CIC that was both that could be applauded, to be celebrated, what they were doing well, but also they were very concerned about what they might be needing to do differently. And that's where our work helped them to close that gap, to both name what they should celebrate and continue to do, but also how to close that gap. But specifically thinking about what diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and belonging meant in a very broad way. This wasn't just about gender or race or sexual orientation, but this was also about learning difference. This was also about understanding that there were religious differences. This was about different leadership styles. This was about different kinds of ways in which they were bringing on community partners. And so this project really gave us an opportunity to come to understand CIC and not only its business model, but also to understand what they needed in terms of employee engagement to really make that business model successful. So I'm excited that we got to be a part of that project and look forward to other opportunities to be in service to CIC. But again, this idea of diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and belonging being one part of it, it really ultimately was about the success of every team member at CIC, employee engagement, and really looking at the breadth and depth of the experience of every team member there. And we were excited to be a part of that project.